Hi project partners, it's Margie Baldock with the first update for 2016 at Brook. You'll hear a lot of noise in this update because we've got guys upstairs working, guys behind me working, guys out the front working. So I don't want to stop working, so please forgive the bumps and scrapes you'll hear throughout this update. Looking around the site, you'll note that the scaffolding is almost done and we'll be the final bits will start to come down. Internally, gyprocking is almost complete. The external panelling is complete. We're almost finished the external painting on the upstairs levels, and the rendering downstairs is also about to commence. I'm inside one of the townhouses today, and you'll see behind me is where our kitchen cabinetry will soon start to take place. And also the bathroom cabinetry and so on will also commence soon. After that, we'll have tiling, carpets, and then the exterior finishes being the landscaping and the fencing between townhouses and so on. Here comes some wonderful of our more hard workers now. So in terms of construction timeline, I've just met with the builder and they advised me that the end of March is actually Easter, which means that we will push over into early April with our finishes. So let's be conservative and say we should be finished by mid-April at the latest, allowing for that holiday window. Titles are typically going to take a 2-week period with the Brisbane City Council at the moment. And then settlements will be 2 weeks after titles. That would take settlements to approximately mid-May this year. So in terms of getting ready for finance, that would mean you'd want to aim to be booking your valuation for approximately mid to late March, but I will give you more accurate timeframes and work with you on that in subsequent videos. If you've had any troubles with your finance, or if you haven't yet checked on your finance, I'm going to suggest you start to do that now. We have had 1 or 2 people who were turned down on finance because of the changes that have happened with APRA in the last 6 months. So don't be surprised if things have changed, and it's important to find out if you will be affected by those changes. The good news we have for you though is if you do get turned down, we have managed to get alternative funding for people who were turned down by their traditional sources. So come to us. We haven't yet had anyone we couldn't get funding for. So we're not remotely worried about getting you funded for this project if you need assistance. Now, I've begun the important job of monitoring the rental market for you as well. There was a project that commenced a few months before us on Cross Acres Road in Doolandella. They have just completed and they're starting to advertise for tenants. They're asking $355 to $360 per week for a very similar product. So we're going to see how quickly those townhouses get taken up, because that will give us a good sense of what the actual market rate is right now for these properties. What you don't want to do really is hold out for top dollar come attracting tenants and have your property sitting vacant for 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 weeks, because that will cost you a hell of a lot more than meeting the market with the correct rental straight out of the gates, getting it tenanted quickly and getting on with it. Remember, we typically do 6-month rents to begin with so that you can make sure you like the tenant, and if you do, when you renew, you can consider putting your prices up because it's inconvenient for tenants to move on. And as long as you're reasonable and you still stay within the market parameters when you do that, you can renegotiate the rent once your tenant is happy and you're happy with them. So we'll have further updates, as I say, every 4 to 6 weeks from here in as we get closer to the end. We're in that final home stretch now, which is very exciting. The Brisbane property market has now stabilised and is well and truly in its growth phase. We're seeing all those Sydney equity up investors and Melbourne investors as well rushing up to Brisbane to take advantage of the biggest gap between Brisbane and Sydney prices that we've seen in 13 years. Last time that happened, there was a big price adjustment in this local market, so we don't expect anything different this time either. So we're well placed to get some good capital growth with this project. So we just need to finish it, get you settled, get your tenant in here, and hopefully that will be a terrific experience for all concerned. Now, between now and the next update, if you have any questions for me whatsoever, I'd love to hear from you. Margie@positivegrowthproperty.com.au or pick up the phone. Look forward to speaking with you soon.